Hey.
Hey everyone, we're so glad today. This is the day the Lord has made. Babe, are you gonna pray for us today before we start the show?
Sure. Okay, as we start this show, first of all, hope you guys had a great weekend. Oh, it's a weekend already, right?
Yeah.
It's a weekend. I'm kind of lost. And happy new month.
Oh yes, happy new month, guys.
Okay. Okay, let's start with a prayer. Let's pray,
Mm-hmm.
Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Father God, we thank you for this day. We pray that you may give us the wisdom to share with other people around the world. And we thank you for this opportunity that you've given us. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, Lord, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait for Mr. and Mrs. Sakani to join us.
To join us,
Like
definitely.
we promised our viewers that we'll have this topic again, part two, because last time we had them 2 weeks ago, we didn't finish it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, we have to continue and, you know, finish it up. So I've been doing a lot of research.
Mm.
So I think this topic needs a lot of parts. Guys, don't be surprised if you see that we go back to this topic again in the future.
In the future,
Because
definitely.
it's so huge. And I saw that resolving conflicts in a relationship or in marriage
Mm-hmm.
can also lead to stress.
Exactly. That's true.
So we will talk about that too. It can lead to stress and so many sicknesses. I didn't know conflicts can, obvious, it's an obvious, but I didn't really know that conflicts can give you flu.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I saw in the research that was done in Poland. I'll share the link. So, I'll talk about it a little bit so people can just see and can read more about that.
Mm-hmm.
That conflict, when you're having conflicts, unhealthy conflicts,
Mm-hmm.
because remember, conflict is good in a relationship or marriage. It helps us grow and all those things.
Okay, I saw you put this in the status too when you say conflict is good. Conflict is good. First, what do you mean when you say conflict is good? Because nobody likes conflict. When you're going through some things, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good. So why are you saying conflict is good?
Conflict shapes a relationship.
Oh.
So I think there are so many types of conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
There's a healthy conflict and a conflict that can lead to divorce, lead to so many problems, like the sicknesses that I just mentioned. You see, but conflict is it's really good. It's good for a couple to be in conflict. It's good to fight. It's good to quarrel. It's good to bump each other. I know. Your question is, how is it good? Because it can lead to all these bad things, right?
Exactly.
So let's say we just get into a relationship, and every time you have something to, like, you're mad about something, you just keep it to yourself. I'm not gonna talk to her about it. And then maybe one day you decide to, like, let me just talk to her about this. Then we start talking about it. It leads now to fight, not physical fight, but verbal, right? It leads to that. After we fight and all those things, and then where you are by yourself, maybe you didn't know that I can go a certain way when I'm mad. So you're gonna learn, my wife, she can tolerate this and she cannot tolerate this. My husband always talks to me in this way when he's mad or when she is mad. So by doing that, we learn one another and how we react to certain things, like how we talk to each other, how we relate to anger and all those stuff. I'm able to contain, I'm able to take in. So next time when it happens, obvious, I'll go like, when we spoke about this, my husband didn't like the way I answered. My wife didn't like the way I took it. It escalated because of this and this and that and that.
Okay, so my point is, when you're saying conflict is good, some people may think like it's necessary to be having it like here and there.
Oh yes,
like
it is necessary. That's what I'm trying to say. It's necessary.
No. That's wrong. Our goal is to make sure we don't have conflict. We don't really have it. That's the point. You need to avoid it. But when you have it, yes, it's true. That's when we know each other. That's when we know our sides and all that. But it's to avoid. We can't say it's good to have it. No, it's not good. Do you like how you feel when you have a disagreement? When you have a do you like that feeling? No, nobody likes that.
It's
so we shouldn't say it's good. It's good for you. No, it's not good.
Babe, it is good for a relationship.
So
it shapes
okay,
you.
now I get it. So if you don't have any disagreement or conflict like that in a long while, you try and come up with something like, okay, because it's good, let me just throw this there so that we can get into a
no,
disagreement.
I hate when we fight. I don't like it when we fight, but it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So you I mean, you don't ask for conflict, of course. You don't ask for fights, right? You don't wish to be in that position, but when it happens, that's an opportunity to know your friend. Take it in a good way, with love and patience, of course. Right?
I know, right? I don't get it.
You don't what? Okay, we'll wait. Let's see. Maybe Mr. and Mrs. Sakan will explain to us a little bit about that.
Exactly.
So let me just share. I took a screenshot of what I saw before we bring in Mr. and Mrs. Sakani. So
okay.
yeah, so just a little bit, just 2 minutes before we put in Mr. and Mrs. Sakani. So I saw that, like I told you, conflict can lead to all these things, the fight, and I mean, unhealthy, whatever. So I saw a research that shows on relationship and conflict that was done in Poland State University. They say that the research found that stable negative social exchange, in other words, repetitive or prolonged conflict, were significantly associated with lower set related health, greater functional limitations, and health factors.
Interesting.
And they say that these findings impacted several health factors. The diseases like that, this can cause stress and also can cause like serious illnesses like flu, can cause to heart attack, diabetes. People can be but yeah, stuff like that. And also you can have like headaches. I know stress will obviously give you headache.
Exactly, definitely.
But flu and the cold, yeah, but it does, like acne. Acne, I've heard about that. When you're stressed, you start developing acne and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I researched about today about this thing. So this is a very big topic. It's a very big topic, and I believe that if we know how to resolve conflicts in marriage or relationships, we can avoid getting sick like that, and also we can be.
So in short, you are saying it's not good, right?
It's babe, it's not good, but it's an opportunity to grow.
It's an opportunity to grow.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to know one another and grow bad. We're gonna talk more about that. Let's see how Mr. and Mrs. Sakani look.
Let me update you. Okay, they're in Cape Town, right?
No, they are in South Africa. Just say South Africa. Let nobody know where they live. They're in South Africa.
I know. It's a secret.
It is a secret. We don't want nobody to know where they live. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, last time we had them, it was very good, and we didn't really have enough time to finish everything.
Yes.
I can't wait for them to take out everything that they have, like Mr. Robert said last time.
So much wisdom. So we are ready for them, right?
Yeah, more than ready. You're already fighting. Okay. We had somebody that comments say, Rhoda, watching though my internet is very bad. Oh my goodness. We pray that internet get fixed.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be okay, Rhoda.
Yeah.
Okay, it seems like our guests are ready. Let's add them to the show right now. Hey, Mr. Rob.
What's up?
Yay!
Hi.
What's up?
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Good.
We are fine.
Awesome.
Wow, my wife is looking beautiful. Yeah.
I know. I wanted to say that.
See some bling blings.
You're looking good too, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We are joining from different towns, and
Oh.
and
Yeah.
I'm up north in Limpopo doing some work, and
Okay.
my wife is in Johannesburg. But looking at her like this, now I miss her.
I know. I know.
That's
All right.
really good.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. So we were fighting already here. We had a conflict right here. So
Yes.
we were saying, my husband asked me that you saw the post that I posted on Facebook about this show 2 days ago. I said conflicts are good for a relationship. What do I really mean? Because conflicts are not supposed to be good. What do you think, you guys?
Perfect. Yeah, I think for lack of better time, lack of enough time, we're going to zero in down straight into the topic so that we can of course say a lot. So I'm going to start, and then my wife will join.
Okay.
Hope that we coordinate. So yeah, let's get inside. I was enjoying when you guys were talking about we're already beginning the conflict. So I like it. Yes. So quickly, you see, just like challenges, all right? Just like challenges, conflicts will always be there in marriages. I'm sure, borrowing a saying that Jesus said that the poor you shall have amongst you. Just like that, conflicts, challenges, they'll always be there. So I want to talk to men as leaders of families and as leaders in the marriage, because we're the head, right?
Yeah.
I want to zero in on that because we play a major role in maintaining peace in the home. Now, often we want to see the wrong in others and are quick to offer corrective measures. It's human nature. We are very good to see what wrong your partner is or what wrong your partner is doing. Now, before you can lead your wife, before you can lead your family, before you can lead your marriage, let's first of all ask about you as a leader. How able are you to lead you? You find that you yourself, you cannot even lead yourself. You cannot even be led. But you want to make sure that when there's conflict, you want to resolve conflicts. But you are a problem. You haven't fixed you as a leader. But remember, it's easy to lead others.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to lead yourself.
Exactly.
True.
And it's very easy to even see wrongs in other people's arguments, but you do not even have the capacity yourself to put your thoughts together. You are not organized. When they ask you a question to say, so what is the matter? You do not even know how to quantify the entire argument, what you're fighting for. You just begin name calling and name shaming, and there's no substance why you're even arguing and how that argument would add to the quality of marriage, add to the quality of life. There's nothing. You just want to argue. So we find ourselves that we are not even mature as leaders ourselves. So there are certain questions that you want to ask yourself to say, how well do I respond to conflict? What is my attitude when there's a conflict? Do I add more fire when there's a conflict? Or do you just want to be ungovernable? You respond in a manner that is completely unreasonable. You just go, you also, even last time, that's what you said. We are not we're not really there in trying to listen objectively and to just rationally listen to what is being said. We're not even mature at all, you know. And what is my attitude in finding solutions to maintain peace? That's the attitude itself. Your attitude is very wrong, and you're not even a peacemaker. And also, before conflicts, I think it's important to understand that conflicts will always be there. So we need to resolve that we won't speak at the same time. For example, such kind of resolves, you know, and can even resolve that only what is in the best interest of the marriage would work. So what is it that you're saying, and how does it add value to us right now? Is it just for the sake of producing hot air? What is it in the best interest of marriage? And then during the fight, remember, I just want us to unpack this so that we can have a point of departure and discussions. Then we can ask questions. So during the fight, sometimes it's necessary to just pause, breathe, calm down. And for those that are Christians, maybe pray together to seek God's intervention. There's this issue, it's bothering me, and I feel like I can point all the fingers at you, and I feel like this and this, and I'm burning. But baby, can we breathe? Can we pause? Can we talk? Talk to God, and so that when we will table this issue, we might have that intervention. And also identifying where the actual point of conflict is necessary. So what is the actual issue? Sometimes we even start arguing, we not even know what the issue is. It's just hot air, you know. And then you also resolve that you will constantly be on the same side and face the conflict together, because now you identify what is the problem. I'll give you a perfect example. I think very fast, and my weakness is that I end up implementing very fast. That's my weakness. And then usually my wife is always like, wait a minute, pause. Can we think about this? Can we do this? Now you find that I am thinking she's slowing me down, but usually I make a lot of mistakes. And then she's like, see, I told you. And then now I have learned to pause, to calm down, to tell her the plan. She would look through the matter, and then she would give me certain pointers that I was unable to see. Now she's a partner. Now I value her. But in the recent past, she was a source of frustration. We used to quarrel a lot because I'm already thinking and I'm already doing things. That's why. But it used to bring, until she sat me down and I turned to listen. She was like, baby, sometimes you're too fast, and without even putting your thoughts together, you're already even announcing what you're doing. You're already so now, because of trying to listen to her and find how that adds value to the marriage, it has helped a lot. So I think that's the opening that I wanted to bring to have structure to what we're going to discuss today. So the key points to take really are the fact that, one, conflicts will always be there, but we need to develop a better attitude to it. Before conflicts arise, we need to sit down together and make certain resolutions. Resolutions that okupsana or get differing, we shall always have. And maybe the tools that we need to embrace should be that we shouldn't be speaking at the same time, and also that we need to resolve that only what is in the best interest of the marriage would be considered. And also to learn the habit of pausing down, breathing, calm down as Christians, pray together, seek God's intervention, but also identify the actual point of conflict and being on the same side and face the conflict together. Baby, did you want to add something to this?
Yeah, I just want to go back to the question that Mrs. Mukadi asked. You asked a question that I want to take you back I've forgotten the question, but I want you to say it again.
Yeah, why? Because Eddie said he had seen what I posted on Facebook, that I said conflicts are good for the marriage or any relationship. So he was asking me, why do you think they are good if conflicts create fire in the house?
Okay, I wanted to talk about that. I think conflicts are good, especially for us. I'll talk about us a little bit. In the past years, like 5 years, 6 years, we were having so much conflicts. So what we did was we didn't actually sit down and find a better way of resolving all the conflicts. But on my side, I started to pray. I started to ask God on how I can handle the conflicts, because there were so many. So as I was praying, I just had a revelation to say, I think I need to calm down, because I was a person who was not a listener. Within those 5 years of our marriage, I wasn't a listener. And every time we have conflicts, I would interrupt him when he's talking to me. I would interrupt him. I would say things out of order. So I began to pray. So during those moments, it was hard. It was very hard, but those moments made us come close. We were apart, but because of those moments of conflicts and fights and arguments, we became so close. And like the question you've asked, it makes us come close. It's really true. You become very close, and you become very attached. So I think I've answered your question, Mrs. Mukadi.
No,
Let me, before
Okay.
Mr. Eddie comes in, let me bring context to what my wife has answered. Number one, challenges help us to get to know ourselves. It's in the midst of the fight that you realize that you are intolerant. It's in the midst of the fight that you discover that you get angry when certain words are said. It's in the middle of the conflict. It's in the middle of the heated debate, words exchange, that you discover to say that your friend is actually impatient. So if we are to look at the positive side of the conflict, it's only when we have a good attitude towards resolving conflicts that when we'll be able to reap the benefits of it. Otherwise, conflicts with a bad attitude and unresolved, they are to the extreme, they are negative, they will tear apart the families. It is what comes out of the reconciliation when now people sit down together to say, how do we resolve this? The reconciliation part is always nice, because then it's like an antivirus. You now have known what does not work in the marriage. You now know that if I say these words, they will hurt my friend. They now know to say that being impatient would actually bring the house down. It means I need to learn patience. It means I need to learn to listen to my friend. So the conflict, the chaos has made you to seek for a better solution. So we used to fight a lot with my wife. And when we found a mentor who, in his approach, he said, wonderful, we're going to start with you, Robert, as a leader. Let's fix you. Everything else will fall in place. And then when he started fixing me, my wife started seeing the turnaround, the good behavior, the changes. She was completely guilty not to do what, not to join in. She also started praying. And then we found each other. Now we understand how to talk. Even when I'm angry and oh, she knows that the dude is angry, but you can see that she's become mature over time. But those realizations, they came after moments of fights, years of fighting, and trying to find middle ground. So conflicts are good only when you have chosen to look at them positively, to say that, okay, how do we resolve these things? Because if they are left unchecked, there's no leadership. It's disaster.
Okay. So would you tell someone just like, okay, in marriage, conflict is good. You need to have it here and there. Can you say that to someone?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Okay, it has to be said in context. I mean, I can't just come out, hey, you just got married. Number one, fight a lot. It has to be said in context. For example, someone who's gotten married. Here now, I'm talking now as a leader. The number one thing that you need to do in marriage is, if it's possible to fight early. If it's possible to cry early. If it's possible to seek solutions, seek them early. If it's possible for you to seek counseling, seek it early. Unlike trying to cover it under the carpet, you know there's a big elephant. You know that the way your wife dresses eats you up. Talk about it, and if it has to culminate into a conflict, let it be. But talk about it, resolve it. Unlike saying that conflicts are not good, so then you don't even talk about it, you cover. No. If you have to ruffle some feathers now, do it now in your early years, in your 1 to 2. But the reason you're doing that is to make sure that you bring out everything that is ugly. Bring it out early. And if you have to fail in your conflicts and seek counsel, seek it early. So it has to be said in context. You can't just say that conflicts are nice. No, you need to have context to it, to say that, look, are you having differences with your wife? Good. Now, begin to find each other, begin to find counsel, begin to resolve, begin to talk properly, because it's necessary. At the end of the road, when you cross that bridge, your wife is actually very beautiful. Let me give you a scenario. My wife is very beautiful. Well, everyone can see, right? but it's only when I started seeing her inner beauty, that's when I started enjoying her. Because you can have a beautiful wife, but if the two of you have not connected to resolve conflicts, even the outward beauty does not even matter anymore. In fact, it even becomes irritating. You can even say that, just you think because you are beautiful, you are nothing. It's only up until when you can connect with the inner beauty, and the inner beauty is all about peace. It's about values. Inner beauty is all about understanding. It's all about having a clear perspective to life. That's inner beauty. It's about resolving conflict. So if you don't resolve conflict, you can have all the nice, beautiful face, and everything can just it's a waste. Yeah.
I love what you guys are saying. Inner beauty, baby. Inner beauty. Okay. So I love so much about what you're saying, because many people, I know, when you guys see a woman, it's all about the appearance, and then you start staying with those people, and then you go like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. But the bad start coming in. So I love what you're saying. And there's a point where you said conflicts are better. They are good unless, did you say unless? They are good until they are, unless they are what? They are helpful.
You look at them in a positive light.
Positive way, exactly. Because if we don't tackle them, if we don't resolve conflicts, then it leads to breakups. It will lead to so many bad fruits, right? Exactly. They'll bring out bad fruits like divorce and not enjoying each other as a couple, because all we talk about is what you did for me. And I also want to add to that. So I've seen I've heard a lot of couples, right? Even when they're not arguing, they like saying, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, or I want, I'm going to do this, right? So now I'm wondering, what if they have like a big argument? How do they say it? Because if already as a couple you want to say, you want to put yourself as I or already excluding your partner, right? So when people argue, because in their mind already they're not at a point where they put themselves together like, we did this, we are like this, we are going, you see. So when they argue, now they start those name callings, they insult each other, they disrespect each other in the argument. And then now the partner says, remember what you did, I don't like it when you put your shoes over there, I don't like it when you put plates everywhere. Me, when I do my stuff, I make sure I come back, I put shoes here. Me, when I do this, I make sure I organize things. So, you're guilty of that?
So I can come in. I can come in quickly on that one. I'm just checking on our time. Can you just check on time? I want us to digress a little bit, and you'll be able to answer that one as we talk. So it's emotional intelligence. I want us to understand emotional intelligence. It's a key ingredient in solving conflicts, and especially in marriage. And emotional intelligence is basically the ability to understand, use, and manage your emotions in positive ways, to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome, I like the last part, and overcome diffuse conflicts. It's emotional intelligence. What I would like to propose to most leaders, to men, to me, is first of all, how well am I doing with my emotional intelligence? Because emotional intelligence means that I'm able to empathize on others. It speaks to character. It means I'll not be too proud. Then I'll not be using words such as I, you did this, I like this, I like this, and stuff like that. Because your words will be seasoned. What you say to your friend. So emotional intelligence is very, 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 very needed. Now, emotional intelligence, remember, if it's coupled with an understanding of your temperament and your character, it's a beautiful story. If I know that I am a choleric, all right, it means it's easy to be short-tempered. Most cholerics are short-tempered. And remember, cholerics are like, this is the direction to go. It's my way or the highway. All right?
Yeah.
So if I know that I'm a choleric, I'll then know to say that I need to work on my emotional intelligence because I'm short-tempered by temperament. So in marriage, it becomes easy for me to diffuse the conflict because emotional intelligence tells me to say that I need to manage my emotional storms well. And then I'm able to empathize and even relate with others.
Exactly.
And if I know that I am a sanguine, right? I am bold. I can say anything. Words to me are easy. I can come up with words easily. I am outgoing and I'm open. I might struggle with emotional intelligence because I might become selfish of others. Because to me, I quarrel with you. I've moved on. I've gone outside. I'm going to even meet with others. Meanwhile, I've left my wife at home crying. Me, I've even forgotten already. Remember, I'm outgoing. I'm a sanguine. I'm outside. I'm even meeting with others. Hey, Chan boy. Hey, my friend, and stuff like that. Back home, I didn't resolve anything. I go back home. I find my wife still crying. Hey, what is it? That little thing we spoke in the morning. You are still angry with it. I moved on already, not forgetting that my wife is phlegmatic. She's very sensitive. I need to know how her temperament are. So my emotional intelligence is helping me to empathize with others that, well, once me, I can forget about it, my wife is still on it. So I should social intelligence, right? We need to marry it with the temperaments, our temperaments and others. My wife is very sensitive. She's a melancholic person, right? She's calm. So especially when she's phlegmatic, because it becomes dangerous, because phlegmatic people are very sensitive. They are introverts. So you say one thing, it sits in the heart. Tomorrow she's still
Exactly.
He froze a little bit.
someone who's hurt. Yes, you cannot resolve conflicts with someone who's emotionally hurt. So we need to be very sensitive of one another. Before we resolve, baby, are you okay? Do you still need some time? Can you drink some tea before we talk about this issue? And then I'm using my emotional intelligence to empathize and to. So it's very important. That way, all elements around pride, really, pride asset aside, because it's no longer I, it's a we. It's a we business. I don't know if I've answered.
Yeah, you made a lot of sense. The other thing that I noticed with women, sometimes as men, we use certain words that might be very small to us. You feel like that word does not mean anything. I'll give you an example. I've once used a word like, you know what you're doing is not right. Any normal person would think like this. They would do this and this. But my point was what I was saying after that. But she was affected by that word. I say any normal person would think like this. You see what? So
Yo.
Exactly, that's wrong.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're right.
When I say that, so whatever I said after that, it don't even make sense. But my point is to transmit the message that I said after that. But she just got that point. Any normal person. So are you saying I'm not normal? So for me, I even moved on. I'm like, okay, I said my. So whatever I said after that, it's like it entered from this side, came out from here. The only thing that stayed in my head is any normal person who knows. So even the subject that we had disappeared. So sometimes we need to start realizing that to control the words, what we use, especially when we are talking to them. As men, we have a different kind of understanding. We'll try to analyze things and get the main point, the main reason why that person is talking that way.
Yeah, I think just to add on that one, I think when you find the point of conflict that you want to resolve, you need to put aside the hurt, the anger, and the frustrations that you have. Then you'll be able to sort out all the problems that you have in a good way. But if you have that hate towards your spouse, that frustration, you'll be failing because you can't sort out problems with that hate. So you need to put them aside and then resolve this issue on the table.
True.
I think
that's very true.
Within a few minutes also, let me drive this point. Yeah, the point is that women connect our apology straight to their heart. Like they feel the apology straight to the heart. So you can say, I'm sorry, but like the sorry doesn't hold what they feel it. Like you're just saying sorry for the sake of saying sorry. Number one, most men struggle to say sorry. Now, the reason we struggle to say sorry, it's not because that like sorry is very expensive, like we can't afford to buy it, sorry. It's not that. It's because we fail to connect to the area of the conflict and our responsibility. There. Why should I say sorry? What did I do? We fail to connect that. That's number one. It's very difficult to just connect our area of responsibility. And now, even when we now have to talk about that issue, the women have gone 10 steps ahead with emotions. And yet resolving conflict is a practical, logical manner or matter. So at that particular time, the emotions need to be given some space a little bit, but we cannot remove the emotions from the logic at this particular time. That's why it's important for us to have emotional intelligence, like I was saying. Then, until when someone has emotionally calmed down and they're able to engage practically or logically in that matter to define what the problem is, that's when you are ready to actually resolve the conflict. Sometimes we're not ready to resolve conflicts at all. We are not. We just engage in there. And I see a beautiful sister there. She's saying separate the problem from the person. Wonderful.
Exactly.
This fuses in so much in exactly what I'm saying, trying to say. You are emotional. When you're emotional, it's about me. It's about what that person is doing to me and how I am a victim already. Exactly. And also when you begin to respond, instead of responding to the actual issue, we're responding to them as a person. And it's now character assassination. It's not even conflict solving anymore. We don't even solve problems. 90% of the time, we are not solving problems. It's really our ego at play. We're not even solving problems. Yeah.
That's very true. I like how you guys are putting it. So we have to focus on attacking the problem than attacking the person, right? That's what we are saying. Let's attack the problem and not the person, and then let's find some middle ground so we can talk about, like, let's also between us, let's agree that we are not attacking each other, but let's find a middle ground for us to tackle these things. And also, let's not cross lines calling each other names. But we already said that. Now, you guys, when does stress come in the conflict? Because I've seen that when a husband and a wife, or any relationship at work or wherever, when conflict is involved so much, stress also comes in. So when do you feel like, now I'm just stressed with this problem, it's too much? When does it come in, and what makes now stress to come in?
Yeah, good. Can I come in? Can I come in there?
Sure.
Quickly. So I think we're just using one word as stress, but really there are a lot of words. There are a lot of negatives that come in when there's conflict. So stress comes in when the conflict is sustained. When the same issue has been going on over a long period of time and the solution is not being found. So it begins to weigh down on the emotions of the person. So over a period of time, you begin you don't even want to go home because you are thinking, I go home, there's that big elephant in the room that has not yet been solved. So stress is just basically something that is on your mind ongoing over a very long time, and you are not finding solutions for it. Stress comes in because it is now occupying a larger part of you, of your emotions, other than just living. So let me give one perfect example. My wife and I struggled to actually struggled financially for a very sustained time, where we're failing to meet certain basic needs. And each time we sat, the only thing we were discussing was finances and money. So money became a stressing factor. All right. So at some point I was even angry. I was like, so in this marriage, we only be talking about money, But the thing is, it was stressful. That was the point. Yeah. So stress can come from anything else. It can come from unresolved conflicts. It can come from unresolved challenges. So finances could be, lack of sex could be. It could be a stressing factor. You need to resolve the issue of sex. You need to resolve the issue of finances. You need to resolve the issue of family members. You need to resolve the issue of self-development. kids, and so there are many facts. So we are using one umbrella term called conflicts, but the source of conflicts, all right, are small children, small baby, small items in there. So conflict is not like, hello, my name is Conflict, I've come here so that you guys cannot. No, it's you are not finding a solution around, for example, personal development. You are stagnant. You are not finding solutions, for example, towards your finances. You're stagnant. That is a source of conflict. So conflict is just a word, but it's just a symptom of underlying factors. So as a leader, that's why when we began, I was speaking to say us as men, as leaders, we need to be deliberate about solving those source of conflicts. Resolve the issue of money. Let there be abundance in the house. Resolve the issue of family members that just rock up in the family and taking reign. Resolve that issue on the attitude that you, policy that you identify on how to respond. Resolve the issue of children, how you take care of children, which school they're going to go to. Make sure that all the fivefold element of our lives, your spiritual life, resolve issues about spirituality, doctrine, resolve issues about material aspects, your physical appearance. Like my wife wakes up in the morning without makeup, she looks very beautiful. And yet at 1 o'clock, she wants to put on makeup to go. I'm like, so all this beauty I've been seeing early in the morning at 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, that beauty, you still want, it's like, yeah, I'm like, okay, fine, can go ahead. We've resolved. So what I'm trying to say is we need to identify where the source of conflicts are and be deliberate as a leader to make sure to quieten them up, so that the only issue that is remaining, right, to resolve are things that are unseen, not things that are obvious.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. You mentioned resolve issues like finances and doctrines, like what you believe concerning religion, right? That's what you mean when you say doctrine. So
Yes.
finance is the number one thing. Like you mentioned, that thing affected you guys too. It's the number one thing. Let's say you're in a situation whereby you are telling people to resolve that issue concerning finances. You are looking for a job. You don't have a job. Both of you are struggling with job. Maybe you have a job that is not paying you enough, but you're still looking for ways to increase your income. So what can you tell that kind of how can you tell that person to resolve that situation? So you try to say there can be happiness without money?
Correct. Yeah. And I'll show you how. I'll show you how. I'll show you how.
Okay.
So when we were going through these rough and challenging times where finances were a problem, I discovered that the problem were not the lack of finances that were causing the problem, actually. It was a lack of vision. We started enjoying each other with my wife before we had money, before we solved the issue of money. How? It was my mentor who took me through a series of counseling and teaching and wisdom corners, where he was telling me on how to create a vision where a poor person can actually be the happiest. Even others that have got money, the same abundance of money can even be a source of conflict. So number one, it's vision. Now, our ladies, our women, this is what I was told, that they do not only want to see clarity in terms of vision, but they also want you to be committed to your own vision and constantly go back and revisit the vision so that they know that they're still on course and are able to see the progress towards that vision. A woman can support you. They were created for that as supporters. But if they do not see the vision, they don't understand the direction of the vision, it causes conflict. Then you come back at you like hopeless, visionless. What will happen? She will not respect you and she won't give you the support that you need. The next you begin to misinterpret that as just because I'm poor, just because I don't have money. No, brother, you've got no vision.
That's
very
number
true.
one part. Yeah, that's the number one part of resolving conflicts that are, that come from lack of finances and stuff like that. First of all, be on the right path.
That's true.
Be on the path that brings hope, brings confidence. And how do you make sure that your wife believes you when you don't have money? Begin to test your dream. Begin to test your vision by asking certain questions such as, so what is the strategy? Okay, that's good. And what will it cost us to reach there? Okay, so it's going to cost us commitment. It's going to cost us sacrifice. It's going to cost us to start saving like this, behaving in this manner. All right. So the wife is listening. She's taking note. All right. Okay. This is the vision. This is the strategy. And this is what's going to cost us. And then she will probably ask, how are we going to find fulfillment? How are we going to find fulfillment during this time? We will stick together. We choose to be happy. You get the point? We choose to love ourselves even when we do not have, because you cannot have a vision that you're going to achieve in 2 years and then hope to be happy only in 2 years. No. Find fulfillment now whilst you do not have. Okay. Exactly. When we do not have, what are we going to do? We'll make sure that we save 10 rand or whatever to go buy Coca-Cola. We'll sit in that tree and we'll talk about our stories. That way you are nurturing the same dream and the vision that you have.
Okay.
So it's very important.
Okay, before I get to what Sammy says, Rod, you mentioned the other thing, the doctrine. So I'll go a little bit into it. That's another thing that couples face is like sometimes, let's say, women, most of the times, they are more committed to things like church than men, most of the times. So we've seen people, men, most of the time, complain of things like they're spending more time on the church stuff, like the pastor, all those kind of things, ministry. If you're in the choir, you find that most of your time is going toward there. And as a woman, she's going there. In her head, she knows I'm serving God. So that's like a priority. And for the man, he feels like he's being deprived of his time. His time is being stolen. So trying to find ways to balance times, like they have this stuff, like bumping heads over that. So how do you advise that situation right there?
Baby, can you come through on that one? Because I think you better handle it well yourself.
On that one, I think on that one, it's just agreement between your spouse and husband and wife. You need to agree, because it's a serious matter that needs to be handled rightly. It's not a joke to save God. So you need to agree to say, we're going to save God. If it's Sunday, we go to church, we come back, and it takes planning. If you don't plan well, you won't save God well. So you need to plan and agree to say, we are going to save God on Sunday, and we move on like that.
Exactly.
I think it's planning and agreement.
The way you say you plan, right? Let's say for me, for example, I don't serve in the church, right? And she's serving in the church. She's in the choir, for instance. There's also something like ladies' ministries. Sometimes maybe you finish church, okay, you're gonna stay late. The ladies, can you stay a little longer? And then you find that on Friday, you need to go here. On Wednesday, we have a meet, all those kind of things, all those other programs. So those are the kind of things I'm talking about.
Okay,
let me talk about that a little bit. Like for us, I wasn't in the band, and he was in the band. But what we did was we planned it this way. He will go to the band, and I'll follow him. I'll wait till the band rehearsal finishes, then we go home together. Okay. So that's why I said you need to plan. You need also to agree.
Was that before you had kids, or after you had kids?
Even when we had kids, I used to follow him. When we had our firstborn, I used to follow him to the band. I wait for him and playing with kids, maybe at the back. And then I wait for him. He finishes the band. Then we go home together. Yeah. It was like that. Yeah. So we used to plan it that way.
Yeah. Okay. No, thank you so much, baby, for putting that corporate passion or joint passion, so to say. The first thing, we do, we're supposed to remember or know is that issues around church, doctrine, ministry, and all right, should be appreciated from the callings that we have as individuals. We need to appreciate. For example, I need to appreciate that my wife is loves social, everything social, helping the needy. That's her purpose. That's her calling. That's who she is. And I need to support her. That woman, she loves when she goes to church and there's feeding of the poor, the soup kitchens and everything else. That's when she's come alive. So I need to first of all appreciate that this is who she is. This is her calling. This is what she loves. This is how she likes to giving back. Then the issue of planning and priorities need to be set. Yes, this is what you love, but what is your priority right now? Is your priority going to be the whole week spending there or a lot of time there? Is it going to be once in a while? So she used to go to the soup kitchen where she's so passionate about twice in a month. She used to go there fortnightly. She goes this week, next week she won't go. Then she'll go the other time. She's still serving her passion, but there's a balance between ministry at church and family time.
Okay.
So she managed to balance that. And then with me, we then had to have a rotation at church where I was not going there every week, so that some other week I'm actually with family. We need to balance that because during the week we are probably working. So the issues around religion, doctrine, and all, they are also a source of conflict because if I am a second-class citizen to my wife and church and ministry and other people are number one, hey, I'll tell her that go and meet your pastor.
That's very true. And I like the way Psalmist also said that family comes first. Family is the first ministry, which is very true. And I love that you guys are doing that. Woo, it's 1 hour already. Wow, that was quick. Time is going by so fast. Yeah, so like that question my husband asked, just to add up a little bit before we say our goodbyes. Yeah, it's very important. It's very important to balance up, like you said, Robert, to balance up. And like you said, Julie, we balance up family and ministry, because if our ministry home is failing, our families are broken, we can't even serve God nicely. Everything we'll be doing will just be noise. I won't sing the way I'm supposed to sing if my ministry at home is failing. So thank you so much. On that note, I think we should have another topic, guys, of a topic of serving at church and serving your family. I think that would be so awesome. We need to talk about that because we fail on that one. We want to be winning at church, and in our own homes we are not winning at all. So that would be a topic for another time. Oh, we can't get your mic.
Before we go, there's one point that I wanted to stress. It was the issue of having mentors, being vulnerable to find someone who can speak into your lives as a couple. Guys, we cannot be all wise and all knowing. There are people that have gone through some of these challenges, and they are able to give us advice.
Yeah.
I've got two. I'm so scared that one of the couples that have mentored me is watching. This is very scary right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's very good.
now, but don't listen to where children are. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Yes. So my brother-in-law is one of my mentors, and then I've got a mentor, Pastor Dominic. All right, he's my mentor. But then them as a couple are our mentors to us as a couple. So
Nice.
I've got two people that I speak to about my weaknesses, and they speak into my life, and they help me become a better person. So one last advice that I just want to give you to us, that be deliberate. Find people that you respect as a couple and submit to, and go there in solving problems, not in policing each other and taking their cues that now I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna tell them. No, it's about, we have come here. There's this thing that we're failing to solve. Can you help us? Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Amen. Thank you so much, guys. This has been amazing. We appreciate you guys. And you guys that are watching, if you're watching from YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching from Facebook, go ahead and like this page. And also share to so many couples that are about to get married and those that are already married.
Wonderful.
So thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Sakni.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. You guys have a good night.
Thank you so much. Always a good time to have you guys.
Always a good time.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank
Baby,
you.
sleep tight. I'm not there, but you know.
Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye for now. Amazing. Guys, let us know how you feel about this show. If you're learning something, just let us know. Our goal is to you and us to learn something, to teach each other something about couples, marriages, and those that are aspiring to get married. So thank you, guys. We'll see you next week, Sunday.
All right. Sorry we took a little longer today.
Yeah.
But we'll work on time next week. All right.
Bye
Ciao.
for now.
Bye-bye.
Let your love sparkle.
Mm-hmm.